Today is August 1, the first day of our GCQ here, General Community Quarantine in Cebu City. I'm here right now in Ayala Mall to get all my stuff, my family stuff that has been suspended due to the quarantine. But you can see there's not a lot of people here, but a few more shops has opened since the last time I was here. Like Jollibee, they allow dine-in, but you have to have 2 meters distance apart. And some of the restaurants now are allowing that. So I'm passing by here in H&M. And there's like confusion of how to check. Some check your quarantine, but the guidelines for the ECQ or the GCQ is actually the number plate of your cars if you have a vehicle. But if you're just walking, of course they're gonna check your quarantine numbers. But since it's GCQ, they usually don't bother with those numbers anymore of what number your quarantine pass is. So on the way here, I was stopped that my pass is not the right number for the day. I said, look, I'm in a vehicle. You're even stopping me on my vehicle, which is also another check if you got even or odd. So hopefully, after the August 15th date, which is the ending date for the GCQ, we'll be going back to MGCQ, which is more laxier. Then we can actually do more. As of today, it's only a few is open, boutiques, and more than the last time I was here. Groceries is of course such a long queue because it's weekend. I don't do my shopping on weekend. I'm just picking up the essential items. Like essential is games, so you get your daughter out of your hair, and items for Old B. So this is Metro. Metro's open. So the Metro store is fully open. I'm going to their 4th floor now to check on my gift for Old B. That's been pending because of the quarantine. Because his birthday was within the quarantine period. So I am now passing through AS Fortuna Road. You can see all the car places here have opened up, but this builder's merchant is closed. But more and more, it's just only the start of the GCQ day of Cebu City. Although this is still Mandaue, they should have been open more than Cebu City is. But I'm glad that we can cross borders now. That's the main thing. Even if we have to keep on wearing masks, having the social distancing observed, but it matters that you can cross borders because the stuff that you need, the places, the shops that is in Mandaue or in Lapu-Lapu is what I'm after here for the GCQ. So I'm going into the Oak Ridge Business Park. That's cute. Yoshokin Japanese restaurant is queuing up for dine-in. I'm here inside Starbucks, although they allow dine-in, but you can see that they even have to put a barrier on the chair so to make sure that nobody sits down. And 2-meter distance is so observed. So look at the chairs being barred. So the distance will be observed even outside. So this is the Starbucks here in Oak Ridge. That is the first day that we can come in here in Mandaue, so I am not familiar of their way of ordering. I'm here in Oak Ridge Business Park, and you can see that the restaurant is open, but you need to keep distance, like a table before another one can dine in. And in Yoshokin Japanese restaurant, it's worse. You get 2 tables before another one can dine in. But you can see that a lot is queuing up on that restaurant. So while waiting for my number, I'll just go and check some stuff on the pharmacy here. Watson's. So there's a new restaurant here. Mimosas. So that's the Oak Ridge IT Center 2 where Watson's is located. But more and more people go out now. I think they're just so bored and fed up with all the staying home orders. They're bored. It's been like 5 months that I haven't eaten this Japanese food here, and I was just enduring the queue because it's the first day today that Cebu City is allowed here in Mandaue City, and their branches here in Cebu is only in Mandaue City. But I know it's worth the wait. So this is what they called shiomase soba, and that's the chahan, karage, and then the gyoza. I've noticed that a lot more people going out. Public transport is back at 50% capacity, so I could see more people coming out now. Today is the first day that we have GCQ. So like the restaurant I've been through, they're open until 7 and they're offering dine-in service now, but of course there is a distance of 1 table per customer. And the waiting line, I was waiting there for over an hour. Jeez. So you see more and more traffic in the road. Then you can see the public transport, the buses are here. Howlings, you can see this at this time before. There's the Talamban Bulacau Road buses. So you got the buses, you got the jeepneys and the taxis, of course. So most of the buses are actually free shuttles. Yeah. And I'm here in my favorite Indian place for takeout. So tomorrow I could just go out and doing my pricing after I sorted everything that we need. All the pending orders of games and stuff like that. Items in the mall that just opened today that we can't get before. It's Sunday today. We don't have work down in the fencing project, and you can see how long are the weeds on my first garden here. And me and Aloy hasn't been able to weed this for quite some time now, a bit over a month, because we've been so busy sorting my fence project there in the Village Park Paradise. So right now, since it's been raining all the time, it's easier to pull, and we cannot put some weed killer on this one or anything because my dog stays in this garden. So you can see them around helping to be awkward. So because sometimes they also eat the grass, so the only way that we can manicure this one is to do it manually, and no pesticides or whatever, to save the dogs from being harmed. And they like going underneath the tree, and I need to trim all the trees as well. So this is what we can do during Sundays. Me and Aloy can trim this one. We still got another garden to do, the next one, and then you have another one behind the guest house. So there's always something that we can do. As you can see, this is where the dogs like to play, and this is where my orchids are. Although they haven't been touched, they've been growing well, so because of the constant rains. And when it's raining, my dog stays on my workshop out there. So we will be weeding again. So you can see we're just pulling it out by our hand, and then just trim it with like the trimmer. So it's better to pull out the weed so it won't grow back quickly. So there's Gladio, there's my two other dogs there, Prompto and Noctis, and the two girls, Imelda Marcos and Luna. And Russell is the alpha dog, not here, is on the workshop. I'm trying to trim my ficus tree because I like it to shape it like this, like little balls. And I usually be the one trimming it, because if I'm not, I will have like a side balls, you know. And I got this silver kind of ficus, and I got this common ficus. I got 4 ficus here. So you can see there's one on the end. Yeah, I think I only had 3 ficus tree. 4, I'm correct, because there's a small one right here on the end. That another one. So 2 silver one and 2 common ficus ones. But I'll be trimming it now with this one. I want to make sure that it's all trimmed up. I could do with Bernard here doing the job, to be LOL. No, I'm not a good gardener. For me, I can't even take care so much of my orchids, but I'm trying. Just trying. But I got my orchids growing nicely anyway, despite the weed. But gardening takes so much of your time, and if you're building, you sometimes neglect it. That's why it's all weed up here. So I'm gonna do some more and then let you see in a minute. So you see here, I managed to trim this side of my ficus tree. The law is already gone, getting some food for the goats, because they can't put them on the field because it's raining. But having a garden is hard work. But I'll just be the one trimming it, like I said. Otherwise, it won't be. He don't know how to shape things. Daloy is. I have to do it, and he'll just clean up the one on the earth, the trimmings. But I'll be the one trimming. I'll just trim the one I can reach before I'll get the ladder. But this is what I like my cactus, ficus is. It's like shaped into little balls. Like that. Like that there, the small ones, and then I'm trimming that big one and also that one on the top. Then I'll give you an update in a minute. I'm just hard work, but it's enjoyable. So I might not be able to finish the 4 trees today, but at least I could finish 1 or 2. So I'll give you an update in a minute. So far distance, it will look like that. Trim. So I managed to trim the whole one tree. Like I said, I'll try to finish at least 1, but I'll try to make some. And I need to cut this. When they're not growing the way I wanted it, I'll just cut it off. But that's the trouble if I just leave this to the Loy. All he does is just pick up the rubbish that I do. I make the trimming because so it will grow to the way that I want them to grow. You know, if there's a bark that's protruding, that's not part of the design that I wanted it to be, I'll cut it off. I got a big one there that I want to cut off. I need my machete on that one. But this is what I want my ficus to be. I need to trim the top of that. I don't need a ladder by anyway. I still can reach it. Only the old ficus there that I need some more a ladder because it's getting higher. But this is how I wanted it to be. Like trim. And because I was weeding, he was weeding. It's Saturday. It was his day off supposed to be. But he's only like weeding a square foot, where I was doing it faster than him. Because I'm glad I'm gonna have to hire Farmer Willie, because he might be good at mixing muck, but the Loy can't garden. He just don't know how to do it. You keep on teaching him, but still doing the same. So it's not, maybe not his line, but I'd just like to share with you the ficus design that I want. Like that. So when they start growing, it will look nice. But I'm just trimming the branches that growing sideways, that it's meeting the other ficus. This is the other ficus here. That's the one I'm gonna do next. Then I'll just trim a little bit on the old ficus ones, the old design ficus, the old type I mean. So this is the one, and then I got a coconut tree here that just grow. And I'll just slowly do this because I can't rely on somebody else. I just let him clean up my mess in here. But I'm glad I've done this because I feel sorry for my ficus. It takes years to grow. I'll just trim this off and I'll give you an update with this one. This is the remaining one. You can see the difference now. Then all the grass will be trimmed. Will be looking nice. I got one more branch to cut in a machete. I can't cut it with that cutter thing. So you can see the second ficus tree now. I don't want it just to be just a big round bowl like what happened here in the old ones. So I trimmed some of the branches to give it a style. Look, so it will be like this. Like it's got like separate areas of round, not just one big round. So I got one more side. I've been cutting all the branches that's going wildly, like I said, to give it a style. Because I used to be like this, and then like I said, the Loy don't know how to trim it. His trimming is like this, just one big round. Whereas ficus is very versatile. You can shape it the way you want it. So I'll be on this side. I'm almost done. You'll be seeing my style in a minute of this ficus tree. So I trimmed my second ficus tree. I have made it into style again, like I had it before. Before the Lord just leave it to grow and just trim the outside. So when I have decided now that I have to trim it myself, and then he just clean up the mess. Because look, I had to cut several branches to make it shorter, and then they grow sideways or like two different bowls like this one. And if you see my garden here, I'm gonna need another painter. Look at the mess on this one. And I'm planning to put a tile on the, like a skirting on this one. So the splashing of the water won't be on the wall, because I don't like it unsightly like this. But it's raining all the time, so I'm gonna have to have a lad wire brush this all and repaint it, and then put the tile on the bottom. And if you can see on the side here, on my house, on the porch, there on the roof, that's also need repainting again. And this is my second garden. You can see the spa that I don't use now because I've been busy. And this is my second garden. It's not much of a trim here because different kinds of plants. I got the jackfruit tree. I'll tell you the story of that jackfruit tree. Before I buy this land, my friend is into card reading because of her husband that went with another team. And so I went along with her and with this card reading thing. And the card reader told me that there's a tree inside the property that you're buying. I don't even say anything really. And please don't cut that tree. It's beside the road. And this is the only one right beside the road. So I said, is it a mango tree? No, it's a slim tree, which is the jackfruit tree. Because these new trees that you're seeing here, the fishtails, are just mine that I planted on. But he used to be just the only one here. And this is like the entrance of before when I bought this land. And so that was the first time before I bought this land. And then I built a house. I live here. 15 years on, we went to a province for a fiesta. And there's another like fortune teller there and told me, oh, you're very lucky. You have a guardian there in your house. And this is a different fortune teller. That was a card reader in the city where you pay 100 pesos for card reading. This one is in another province. And actually in Samar. And that's already across Cebu. And said, the lady that lived in that tree is really friendly. And she's the one's guarding you and helping you. She's giving you fortune. Because she also owned the other trees on the side of your wall, which is the 3 mango trees. And so I never cut. I just trim it when it's near the electric, of course. The jackfruit tree. And sometimes when I got little puppies, and when the first time they were here, I can't believe it. They always go to the jackfruit tree and start barking on it. So this jackfruit tree, I know it's superstitious belief. I just leave it alone. So I just trim it when it goes near the electric. But I just leave it alone. Because there's loads of trees here before when I bought the property. Not the big trees. I always leave the big trees. But small trees, and I clear them all out. Oh, and just leave the jackfruit tree and the 3 mango tree that I was told she also owned. So when it's, I know it's superstitious, when it's moonlight, this place here, the dogs will always be in my second garden. They just like keep on barking at the jackfruit tree, or they just like lying around there. You can see their toys there on the foot of the tree. So this is my second garden that I need to trim. And this is my guest house here. And I got another garden behind the guest house. As you can see, I got my orange tree here as well on the side. But I got another garden that's full of weeds. I still need to landscape that one in my guest house. So I don't have much help because, you know, it's only Daloy. But right now we're so busy with our building work. That's why we can't do so much, keep on cleaning here like I wanted it to be. But here is my guest house. And that's the garden of my guest house. I'll go inside because some people said that I just come here and it's not even mine, which is the annoyance of some of my guests. Like, oh, these people. So there's a tour of my guest house. It's now empty because of the COVID. I don't want anyone staying here. This is the kitchen. And this is the toilet here. And this is the lounge. So I got a big TV there that they can use. Internet connection there. And here is your dining table, or sometimes you can go and just let's serve the food on the bar. And your companion here is Mr. Teddy. For my new subscriber who hasn't known that I got a guest house, this is my guest house as part of my property. And this is the view from my guest house. Here, and it's very windy here. That's my main house, by the way. And this is my view of my guest house. So you can see Mactan and the provinces of Cebu. And the breeze here is quite cool because it's coming from the ocean straight ahead. So that's the other land in between the village park. There's like 2,000 square meter in between. More or less about 2,000 square meter. And then next is my village park. So you can see here I got a big garden on the back of my guest house. That's, you can see my big malunggay tree. And all the lemongrass and the coconut. But you see I haven't trimmed it, manicured it like I want it to be because I'm busy building. But now since I know that I could hire farmer, I didn't hire him before because I only hired him like if I had a pour or something like that. But actually now that because of JT is looking for someone to trim, now I discovered that he can do it for me 2 times a week. Then that will be his job to trim all my gardens because I can't rely on Daloy with regards to gardening. Daloy is only good at building. I mean mixing muck. So this is my 3rd garden that I'm talking about. And my 4th garden is in the front of my house where I'm walking all the time on the side of the wall. I still need to trim that. So this is the garden that's available for me to landscape. And I'm gonna put a railing there. And for my old subscriber that known that I have also made the patio here. That's what was the last time that Junelle done here. Before the budget bungalow is the patio here on the side of the guest house. So you can also pass by the guest house from there on the side of the house. And this is the balcony. So this is where some of my subscribers stayed. The foreign subscribers stayed here in my guest house before. And this is your view of the whole city. And you're facing all the internet towers. So like in the village park, there will be no problem with internet and wind. And noise is, well, you'll be woken up by the birds every day because there's nobody around you. It's just a big forest. And it's santol time. You know that big tree? It's called santol, and it's very sour, that one. That's why it's just look. There's loads of fruits, but nobody's getting it. It's so sour. And here is my guest house. Now let's go in. There you can see the whole of it. That's the kitchen, dining room. I'll just lock it. Okay, this is the dining table and chairs that I bought from the Silawan Furniture. And also the lounge chairs here, the sofa set, this from Silawan Furniture. But the curtains are mine, made. And so I'm gonna tour you as well down to the bedroom. My guest house has 2 bedrooms. You can also turn on the lights from here. Here's the light panel on the side when you open the door. Outside stairs. Oh, I turned off the mains. So I'll just give you a tour down here. So this is the 2 bedrooms. Might be too dark. I'll just open the door, then you can see, because I didn't turn on the light. So here is the first bedroom. So you got the fans and the curtains, aircon, and you got the balcony here leaning towards the garden. So you can also sit down outside and just look at the garden because you still got the view. The last one that stayed here was Adrian from UK and Shania. They don't like the aircon, so they have this one, the screen. Just open the door and have the screen, and open the curtain so the breeze can go through. So you sleep on the breeze. But if I had like a lounge chairs, I think it will be better. You can also sleep outside, but the problem is the mosquitoes as well. So this is the view from my guest house. So let's turn off. Close it off. And I'll show you the bathroom here. So this is the bathroom. It's all blue in color, light blue, and you got the shower area. It's just one big room, but I like big bathrooms, the same in my main house. But this is my guest house. So you got shower there. You can see all the paneling there. And all your stuff here. So I can't turn on the light because it needs on the mains, because old B has to sort that. Because I don't bother with electrics. And this is the second bedroom. The green room, I call it. So this is the second bedroom. Also got pans if you don't like the air cons. And let's see there. The bed is not made of. This is only one person that stayed here last time. One couple, I mean. Shanae and Adrian. So they used the red room, not the green room. So you can see both rooms are facing the gardens. You can get out of the gardens and just look at the view. So this is my guest house. And the other room here is a storeroom. Because I got green curtains on the other side and red curtains on the other side. So that's why I call it the red and green room. And going up, that's where you see the kitchen. And the lounge. That's what the stairs looks like going down. But here is the lounge. I think JT was planning to stay here when he start building his house. So he'll be on site because the guest house has its own entrance. So you got a fridge, a microwave, cooker, induction cooker, griller, rice cooker, toasters. I basically complete the basic that's needed. But no cooking oven and of course microwave, fridge, plates, you know, the basic kettle. Even my steamer is still there because I always steam it. Every time someone stayed here, steam it all up. All my dogs are waiting for me. And if you stay here, you got your own entrance. That's the entrance there. Going to the road on that metal door. So you can see here that I've started to the Junelle and Taloy, my gang, I was supposed to say, started to tile all this and it makes it cleaner. But we haven't finished it because my first subscribers that come here has arrived and they stayed here for 3 months. And now I got a project. So, you know, there's always something to do. And I had to clean up all these walls. I want to have tiles put on the walls because the splashing of the water is making it untidy. So this is my property inside. It's Sunday today. I got those, I don't know what's the, but that's the story of my jackfruit tree. The lady that lived in the jackfruit tree is quite my friend. And she's a good spirit. Because 2 separate occasions, 15 years apart, got the same story. So I'm not joking. I was just amazed myself. I'm even skeptical about it. But what's I gotta lose if I just believe it? So this is so far I've done. I managed to style my second ficus. So hopefully I will find time to trim it all up. My hands are shaking now because of what I've been doing. Cause I need a drink. Just bear with me, my audience. I had a go at the other one, but I can't help it anymore. I got blisters on my hand. I'll just do that tomorrow before it gets worse. But I've done the 2 silver ones there on the end, the silver ficus, and then I'll operate on this 2 regular ficus. So I'm gonna need a ladder on this one because they're taller, but the 2 I want to make it like shorter so I could reach it immediately. So I'm just trimming the bottom of this and then make it like a mushroom effect. The same with this one. And I'm done for today. This is the Indian meal that I'm gonna give Old B for dinner tonight. So you can see I got chicken tikka masala, the naan bread, the vegetable samosa, and the basmati rice. And he likes his with pampadoms. So I'm not the one who cooked this, of course. I get it from the takeout and then I just separate it in 2 or 3 meals because I can't even cook to save my life, in my opinion. So this is the favorite of Old B and also my daughter. So I often serve them Indian food, whereas they don't really keen on Filipino food so much. So it's just me who's like plain Filipino food. like the boil, the grill, and the barbecue. But this is our dinner tonight. Indian food.